is Clinton Save the Victorial, your older than average YouTuber, here for another video on the YouTubes. This is going to be a 4-part series. We are going to do a Is It Worth the Hype? And the brand that we're starting with is Cosmic brushes. So I got myself a hold of these 3 palettes plus a brush, and I'm going to go through each one of these, and then on my 4th video we'll pick which one we liked best, and then we'll have a complete overview of do we think the hype and excitement over the Cosmic brushes releases are worth it. We have 3 palettes. The newest is the Delicious Delights. The one previous to that is the Muse palette. And then we have the one that started all the excitement, the Serenity Palette. There was a first palette, the Rose palette, I believe. I unfortunately missed that. I am super sad now, but it is what it is. So I thought we'd work our way backwards. So we're going to start with the newest. We'll go with the second, and then we'll end off with, again, the one that started it all. So if that is something you're into, you're in the right place. And you know what you need to do? You need to keep on watching. As per the intro, we are going to start with the newest of the had 4 palettes. I missed the very first one, but we're going to go from the newest, which is the Delicious Delights. We are going to then do the Muse, which I believe came just before this one, and the one that started it all, the Serenity palette. We're going to do that for our 3rd video. So we can kind of see how they go progression from their newest to, well, I guess their second oldest. There was a Rose palette, and the few times I tried to get this one, I thought I could stick that one and the Rose one in, but this one always sold out. And then the Rose one got discontinued, and yes, and for shipping to Canada, it wasn't worth it for me just to go for the one, unfortunately. So I sadly missed out on the first, but if somebody's ever selling one, maybe I can pick one up later, depending on how this goes. So again, this is the Delicious Delights. And I thought while we start with this palette, we can have a little story time, because again, we are wanting to see, is this brand worth all the hype? So we're going to go from the quality of the products. Again, we're going to go from the newest to the oldest one that I have. We can also talk about in story time here about customer service and yeah, and just everything that I know about Cosmic brushes, which isn't a lot. I do know they are a UK brand. And yeah, so let me just quickly prime my eyes, then I will show you the color story, and I think I have an idea of what I wanted to do. So I'm going to do, I think, 4 videos. So it's going to be 3 parts. It's going to be the all the 3 palettes and what I think of them. And then for the last one, I'm going to do a look with my favorite of the 3. And then I will give the ultimate decision of, is it worth all of the hype? And I guess for some trials and tribulations, because a lot of times they sold out and had to do lots of restocks because they are so coveted. And also because they are actually, for an independent UK brand, they're very affordable. So, and even swapping out into Canadian, you know, and then actually I think the shipping was better than the first time I think I might have looked, or I'm thinking because just buying one palette, as it's being pretty affordable, the shipping was for me prohibitive. But for buying 3 palettes and 1 brush to try, and I forgot to add the highlighter, so I'm kind of kicking myself a little bit. But then the shipping of $16.99 was totally worth it. So now we're primed, like I said, and we're gonna quickly take a look at this color story and take off the little plastic here. And this is the color story we're looking at here. They are all 20 pan palettes. Again, this is the Delicious Delights, or 20 color palette. It is very colorful. There are no blacks in here, but there is a white and a shimmery white. So if you want to make things, some of the darker shades more pastel, that is great. There are some specialty shades in here, which is why this one was the most expensive of the three. Not by a lot, like I think off sale, maybe $5 or $6. It wasn't too much more, but these two shades here, and I think these two might be normal shades, but I think there were two specialty shades, but we will see as we go through. I think I'll end up swatching for sure the shimmery shades because there are mostly matte. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shimmers and I guess 14 mattes. And for me, that's really good. I do like a more matte heavy. And then the shimmers are really good. So you've got like purple to go with the purples, the greens to go with the green and yellow, 2 various shades of pink and blue. So you've got basically a shimmer that fits the majority. And of course, white, which you can use with any shade. So that is a great mix of colors. This color story was beautiful. The Serenity Palette, it has a beautiful color story and it did tweak my attention, but I didn't, I guess, pursue it after the first couple sellouts. But this is definitely a color story that I love. And the Muse palette, part of story time. So I think today what I want to do is I want to do a pink and green look. So I think for a little bit of darkness, I'm going to start with this purpley shade, even though and it's called a Jelly Bean, and that's what we're going to use first, just along the outer edge. And then we can start story time. And then I picked out 2 of their brushes, and I think either one sold out while I was deciding, and so I only got the one, or I didn't hit it hard enough. I can't remember because I know I looked at 2. So there we go, but that's cool. They are very nice and soft, and this is, I believe, their crease brush. They're 420. If I've got it wrong, I'll put it on top. But anyways, it's a crease brush, so I thought maybe we can use just to dip into Jelly Bean to get a little bit of darkness. And yes, that's got some quite nice color there. So story time. So somebody that I know through makeup groups, and sent me Susie, I'm looking at you, sent me a message saying that there was a restock. And I had kind of known it was coming. And I was like, you know, I'm out for the day. I was at an event. I was like, the time I come home, this is all going to be sold out anyways. So temptation should be at 0 at that point because I've been wanting these since the release of the Serenity Palette. But I came home and I was stupid and I went and I looked and the palettes weren't sold out. So I thought to make it easy on myself, I'll just go to the part with all the palettes and then I can pick the palettes and good to go. And then I'd forgot about the highlighter totally. And anyway, so I went to the palettes and I was like, okay, Serenity Palette, go. Oh my gosh, Rose Palette, yes, no longer available. Okay. And then I'm like, Muse Palette, that's the one. Clicked and then picked a brush, add to cart, paid. And then it dawned on me when I saw it pop on my email. I'm like, I don't think it was the Muse palette I wanted. I wanted the Delights palette. But for some reason, when I clicked the palette, it wasn't on the list. Because I would have seen it, right? But I guess because it was a new release and an exciting restock, it was on a separate page. So I didn't notice that. So I panicked. Is there a way that I can go online to cancel the order and reorder? And I couldn't find anything. So I ended up reaching out to Cosmic Brushes. And I'm like, hey, I was a dodo bird. My mistake. Is there any way that I can either swap out the Muse palette, pay the difference, or I'm totally cool, keep the Muse palette. Can I throw in the Delicious Delights and pay for it separately? Because I don't want to reorder and pay with separate shipping because it'll be too expensive to get to Canada, and you never know if you get hit with duties, which I didn't. So that was quite exciting. So yeah, so it took about a day, and then one gal reached out, and my memory's bad, so I want to say Erin, but I'm not 100% sure, so I could be 100% wrong. And anyways, so she got back to me, like I messaged on the weekend, so after the weekend, which totally fair enough, right? I didn't expect to have a response on the weekend. So then I got the response and they were like, well, no, they can't ship it out, swap it out because the Delicious Delights is more expensive, and totally fair enough. And she says, but she could refund the one and just ship the one. And I'm like, well, you know, shipping to Canada is, you know, for one palette is too expensive. I said, is there any way that I could add then, you know, the Delicious Delights palette to it, pay separate and throw it in the box because it hadn't shipped? And then it was kind of crickets. So I thought, okay, well, I know they're busy. They're doing a restock or whatever. But still nothing. I responded again to the email, nothing. And I thought, you know what? I messaged on their page, and then I thought, I'm going to go just one more time. I'm going to go into the help thing, be like, hey, I know you're probably busy. It's probably got lost down the pike. You know, I'm not the most patient person. This is the conversation so far. I'm happy to keep the Muse, want the brush, definitely want the Serenity. Is there any way that I can get this palette? And a fella answered, and I forget his name, so we're gonna call him Steve. I don't know if that's the right name or not. But anyways, he responded back right away, and he was like, yeah, you know what? That's no problem. We're going to the warehouse tomorrow to pack orders. Yeah, do you have a PayPal or I think it's Klarna or something else, which I don't have here. So I was like, oh no, I have a PayPal account. So I gave them the PayPal email, and they were like, yeah, no, I'll send you an invoice, and then we can pop it into the order. And then I was thinking, okay, because we've got, again, 8 hours time difference, and I'm like, and he responded really early in the morning, so I responded quick as back as possible, but still with the time change, you know, it's a few hours later and it's the end of day. So I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting anything. And then I was on a Zoom call with work, and then boop, PayPal, the invoice popped up. I paid it as fast as I could, and then I got an email, you know, saying, oh, thank you so much for the quick payment. It will be in the next order. And then the next day it shipped. So I ended up getting the 3 palettes and the brush. And like I said, I was very happy. I had no duty. So customer service is awesome. Yes, did it take a little bit longer, and did it maybe get lost in the pike that I had to respond again? Yes. But again, things happen, especially if you're a small indie brand and you're dealing with lots of people, you know, lots of customers. And I don't know, maybe other people were as dumb as me. And had I just got the 2 palettes, I would have been fine. I would just had to wait till maybe another release to get this. But then after it shipped, I was like, oh damn, the highlighter. I forgot about the highlighter, wanted the highlighter. But I have enough highlighters. Well, I have enough eyeshadow, but that's totally cool. So we're gonna leave that for another time. But yeah, so anyways, this is going on really, really beautiful. I just had to touch a few times, you know, to add a little color, but there's no blending issues. It went on really nice. And like I said, I always like it to be a little bit buildable. I don't like to possibly have to do damage control. So here we are. So that was the color Jelly Bean. And so yes, A+ to customer service. I'm gonna have to redo because I'm sometimes a very impatient person. So when I wasn't hearing back, and then all of a sudden, and I'd got a thing going, how was our customer service? And it's like, well, you haven't answered my question. So I was a little bit like, you know, hey, but definitely they're awesome. Yes. So it was very good. Like I said, I just have to learn to be a little bit more patient, time changes, etc. So, and you know, and people being busy. It's not like it's, I don't know, Too Faced or Sephora or something where they've got 1 million employees, right? So it's like, woman, slow your roll. All right. So now let's go into, oh, maybe this, oh yeah. That is so shimmery and pretty. Like just kind of looking here, like pink, but all of a sudden I was looking down, look at that. Oh, look at that green shift on there. Oh my God. And then this one goes from blue to purple. Oy. That is fabulous. So yes, 2 specialty shades and some regular shimmers. But oh my gosh, the shift is insane, and I can actually show it. My gosh. Okay, so I'm gonna see if I can, where did my towel go? There we go. I do have this, but sometimes if it's a bright color, I also want to do a bit on a towel just to make sure I got the color off. And you know, brushes can stain as well, so you don't 100% know, but there we go. And pinks do, so I'm aware of that. So now we're gonna go into this pink shade, and this is, do I have glasses here? I forgot to bring glasses, so I'm gonna have to put it on top because I cannot at the moment read that shade. I cannot. Sorry, my eyesight's getting worse by the day for close up. So anyways, we're going to go with this dark pinkish, the darkest pink shade. And then we're going to do that next. Oh my gosh. And then when I put this one down here, it went from pink to green. But then when I put it down, it went gold. Oh my gosh. So beautiful. Okay, I'm gushing a little bit. So yes. At least with this palette, I'm starting to see why everybody is liking some cosmic brushes. So anyways, there is that next dark pink shade. And same thing, look at that. That just pops on really beautifully. There is a trick that I learned through Teresa Mulhern that she learned from Cosmic Peaches, Danielle, that if you tap the color and then you tap it on your hand a little bit, you get some smoother disbursement. So I've been trying that with colors that are like black, or super dark colors, which may get a lot of fallout, or shades like dark purples that are sometimes hard to mix. And that trick is a good one. So thanks, ladies. And there we go. Yeah, look at that. What a pretty shade. Yep, look at that. Like, you barely have to do anything and it blends. There's no patchiness. Okay, so this palette is pretty and nice. Oh, okay. No, now at this angle I can read it. So this pink shade is Smoothie. So Smoothie. Again, that was Jelly Bean. And then this one is Marshmallow. So there we go. So it's just the writing on the color of the writing on that shade of turquoise makes it a little bit hard to read when you have bad eyesight. A normal person could probably read them just fine. So this is the lightest pink that's in the palette. Oh, I said I wanted to do pink and green, didn't I? Oh, goodness. Okay, I know. We're going to put green underneath. So there we go. I was just happily playing with all the pinks that I forgot that I wanted to do a pink and green look. Oh my gosh. See, so my eyesight is bad and my memory. So let's do green on the bottom. I mean, I suppose I could wash it off, do another look, and make this a 2-look video without base. But here, so let's do that. Or green in the inner corner of that too. Okay, so there we go. We're getting some plans together. I was just so excited with the pinks. And you know, I've been trying my hardest to play more with pink and trying to have a better relationship with it and making it look like I don't have pink eye. So I think I'm slowly getting there with the pinks. So this, again, goes on really beautiful. And then the shimmer should hopefully help to kind of blend a little bit in between where you see a bit more of a solid line. Alrighty, so then I'm going to take a smaller brush, my little AOA brush, and then we're going to go into, okay, what's this shade? Lollipop. So let's go into Lollipop. It's kind of matte green, and I want to bring that in the inner corner. Ooh, that's really pretty. So we're just going to go into the inner corner of our eye, and we're going to do this. So we can add our touch of green here. Ooh, that's a nice color. Okay, so I can definitely say for this palette, and a little birdie told me when I was saying that I was quite missing out on the first one. I was like, oh, then I could have had all 4 since I was doing this breaking my no by giant order. July was rough. She was like that it was good, but definitely the quality has improved, that all the palettes after that were actually better. So that made me a little bit less FOMO-y. There we go. Oh yeah, that is so pretty. Okay, I'm done. So we got some green in there. That's good. So there we go. And yes, all we have is a lighter green, or I thought maybe I could, well, maybe I will anyways. Screw it. Let's add some more green. I like this brush a lot. I wish at the time I had, because they're really cheap at the store where everything's like $1 or $1.10 or something in Canadian. But these little brushes are really good. I need to find more brushes that are kind of like that. So now we're going to go into this light shade that is called, I think it's Minty. So that's that one there. And I'm just going to go along the edge on the top there. Oh, the seabirds are out today. There is water relatively close to me, but I wouldn't have thought close enough that the birds would be hanging out up here, but seagulls and stuff, but it seems to be quite often I hear the seagulls. Okay, this is so pretty. Okay, so I'm excited that we got some green into this look. And a little bit different for me, so it's not just one, two green. Yeah, I like it. Excellent. Alrighty, so I want to play with some of these shimmers. So I do want to play with, well, you know what, we'll see how this works on the eye with, because it does have the green to pink, and we've got pink and green on there. And I do want to try a little bit of this, what I think is just a regular green. So I'm going to take this regular green shimmer right here, and I'm going to pop that right in the inner, and that one is called Fizzy. So we're going to take some Fizzy, and we're going to stick that right into, okay, now we're going to use some spray and stick this into the inner corner. So a little Fizzy. Oh yeah, look at that. I like that. Okay, that's nice. That, oh yeah, like it was just a little pop. It is just a regular shimmer, but I think, yes, I'm not seeing a shift in it, but regular shimmer as in it's not multi-chrome duochrome, but it is nice and soft and shiny. So you're still getting some bling, so don't you worry. Okay, so now for the bottom lash line, I think that's what I think should I do. I should stick to the green. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick to the green. So we're going to go back into Lollipop and do that along the bottom. I think I'm going to do the whole thing Lollipop, I think. All right, so there's that. So now let's play with some of the shimmers. So let's do the specialty shade, and this one is called Sprinkles. So we're gonna go Sprinkles, and probably because it does have the at least three shifts in there that I can see, that's a good name for it. So I want a flat brush. Wah-ha. There we go. It's one of my little Suva brushes. I like this set so much, I bought two. Alrighty, so let's go into Sprinkles. Okay, so careful that it is soft. I just lightly went across it and I was getting a crap ton. So be careful. You don't want to have a hole in there and like two uses. So we're gonna give that a, oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, look at that, showing all the different shifts. All right, I just hope you can see it as a small brush. So let's try that on the lid here. Just on the mobile part, because I want to leave the rest of the other color and then see how we do here. And this goes on super, oh yeah, see, look at that. So you can see the yellow, green, and then it goes pink. Ha! Okay, so wherever or whoever made this formula for a multi-chrome is brilliant. This is a great formula. But like I said, careful, it's soft, a little flaky. I mean, being careful, I don't think there's any fallout, but we're definitely seeing the shifts here, which I love. So let's do the other eye. I mean, I think for the most part, let's use our phalange, that these are better if you, I feel that if you just put one color down and then stick a multi-chrome or duochrome, but I did want to try a few different colors in our look here, because is this going to be the one that's my favorite out of the three? I'm gonna have to find out. Yeah, it goes, yeah, no, it goes on just nice with a brush and a little bit of spray, but the other thing that's good with a finger, it can just pack it down a little bit. So there we go, look at that. You can actually see the shift. That is a strong multi-chrome. All right, so we're gonna go back and finish our face, and then we'll come back for a quick chat and show you what. And here we go, our final look. I was almost gonna put lashes on, but this was just too pretty. I didn't want to impede from it. So just doing my base, little Pat McGrath colored lip balmy stuff. And here we go. So that is our looks with Delicious Delights. So far I must say customer service was excellent. I am enjoying this palette, but how do we think it's going to hold up to the other two, especially the one that started all the hullabaloo. So anyways, that's it for me. If you liked part 1 of our Is Cosmic Brushes All It's Cracked Up to Be video, please give us a like, comment, and subscribe, and maybe even hit that notification bell. If not, that's okay. We can still be friends and we can still play with gorgeousness together. As always, behave, make good choices, and we will talk to you soon. Okay, bye-bye.